channel. My name is Mikaelyn Jones. I am the owner of Pure Horizons Travel Agency. If you are new here, I'm a certified travel professional through Careers on Vacation. I specialize in romantic travel such as honeymoons, anniversary trips, or just romantic getaways. So if you are not new here, you might see that I'm in a different location. I am actually in our office. This is my husband's office. But for Christmas, my sister-in-law and brother-in-law made me a desk. And so this is where I have it set up. And I love it. It's one of those sit-stand desks. So I can stand, and I'm planning on getting like a walking pad so I can get some steps in while I'm working, or sitting, which is what I am currently doing. And I just put my feet up on my chair so that way I'm not spinning during our conversation. But so without further ado, this video is about creating a budget for your next vacation. So in my last video, I talked about 5 tips on planning your next vacation or honeymoon. And one of my very first tips was creating a budget. So most Americans, like I think there was a study done, and 68% of Americans overspend on vacation. So if you want to learn how to create a successful budget and stick to it, so that way it's not as stressful when you go on vacation. You don't have to worry about logging in extra hours at work, and being able to really enjoy your time of relaxing and just resting, then keep on watching. We're going to talk about the 3 main pillars of the budget. So to get started, I would say that saving about 10% of your annual income is what is recommended when creating a budget for your traveling. So, and if you wanted more than what your annual income is, then you would just have to save more. So say you make $100,000 a year, you would save 10% of that. That's $10,000 that you would have for your next vacation. So questions to ask when creating a budget is, what goes into deciding how much to spend? How do you decide where to spend? So the different pillars, like I said, and how can you effectively budget to keep yourself from going over? So the biggest pillar, this is going to take up about 50% of your budget, and that is accommodations and transportation. So accommodations, hotel, resort, Airbnb, wherever it is that you're staying. Say you're, doing a trip to Greece and you want to go to the different countries, you would have to save for or go to the different cities. You'd have to save for the different Airbnbs that you would want to stay at, or the hotels that you would want to stay at. But that would take up 25 to maybe 30 or 40%, and then the other percentage of that would go to the transportation. So whether that be an Uber or taxi, or a rental car, and then with the rental car, gas, the insurance, that kind of stuff, that all falls under the 50% for accommodation and transportation. The next pillar is food and activities. So if you're staying at an all-inclusive resort, food is usually covered for that. Now, if you wanted to eat off resort, then you would want to put money into this category for that. If you are traveling, I would still say save extra in this area, because things happen. So if you aren't planning to eat at the airport, but then your flight ends up getting delayed, and this actually happened to me, where it was only supposed to be like 30 minutes to an hour like layover. I can't remember exactly what it was, But I ended up waiting there for 2.5 hours. My plane kept getting delayed, and I ended up having to eat dinner at the airport, which is it's pretty expensive, and or it's just it costs more than um, what I would normally get. So saving extra for that, snacks, groceries if you're staying at an Airbnb, tips. So if you're eating at a restaurant, tip for sure. Also includes drinks, so for bars and that kind of stuff. That would go into this category. Activities, extra excursions or tickets, passes, that kind of stuff. You'd want to save for that. And then you'd also want to save, if you go on an excursion, save to tip your driver or your tour guide. So definitely there are a lot of countries that's really big in, and it is greatly appreciated when you do tip. Then our last pillar would be, so I don't know if I said 50% for transportation and accommodation, 30% for food and activities, and then 20% for incidentals. I don't know if you can hear my dog crying. Oh, there's kids walking home from school, so he's seeing the kids and he's crying right now. He wants to be outside. Oh well. So 20% for incidentals. So this is resort fees, baggage fees, pre-trip expenses like passport renewals. There's souvenirs. So you want to save for that, because you don't want to get there and be like, you can't have any of these things when you want something to commemorate the trip. So I recommend when say you're going to an all-inclusive resort, I would save an extra $40 to $50 per day, or even $50 to $100 per day, depending on where you're going. Some resorts like Sandals, there's no tipping. There's no tipping your bartenders or servers or anything like that. I don't know if you really insist. I don't know if they would even take it, but that's how Sandals is. That's how Beaches is. I really have enjoyed working with them in the past, but that is one of their things, is that no tipping required. Now other places, when we went to Riviera Maya, we stayed at Catalonia, and they really appreciate your tips. So $1 per drink, basically, that my husband and I would get. $1 to $2 per drink, and you got 5 between the two of us, maybe 7 drinks a day. So because that included our meals and that kind of stuff. But yeah, tipping extra there. And then I also recommend travel insurance. So nobody likes to think about something bad happening on their vacation, and I really hope that nothing bad ever happens on any of your vacations, but you want to be prepared for the unknown. Growing up, my dad is an Eagle Scout, my brother's an Eagle Scout, so that was always ingrained in me, is just be prepared. So I'm definitely an overpacker. I don't recommend doing a packing video with me, because I tend to overpack for sure, because I'm prepared. But that is one thing that you don't want to not be prepared for, is the travel insurance. unfortunately, things do happen. So just knowing and being prepared for that. And if anything, this is going to just create a bigger budget or a bigger pool for spending. So if you don't spend it all, then it's just the starter for your next vacation, which then you can maybe spend for, a 5-star resort versus a 4-star resort, so things like that. I hope this gives you a clearer picture of how to successfully budget for your next vacation. And if you have any questions or are unsure about how to apply these techniques to your next trip, don't hesitate to reach out. I'll put the contact information below of how you can contact me and connect with me, and I'd love to help you with your next trip. So, I also wanted to share, I have a little chart of how to budget for your next vacation. So maybe you could take a screenshot of this, and you can see here, this is like if you make $100,000 a year, if you make $200,000 a year. Hopefully you can hear me through the paper, but if you wanted to like screenshot this and use that when creating your next budget. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was helpful, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye.